Hey everybody, I'm Jeffrey Clarke and welcome back to Living in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you think you know Pinellas County, today we're going to put that to the test. So whether you're thinking about relocating or you've lived here for years, there's a lot more to this corner of Florida than most are aware of. So let's get into it. So number one is Pinellas County has over 35 miles of dedicated trails and it's still growing. When most people think of Pinellas County, they picture beaches and palm trees, but what they don't realize is that it's also one of the most walkable and bike-friendly counties in the entire state of Florida. At the heart of it all is the Fred Marquis Pinellas Trail, which is a multi-use path that spans over 45 miles, yes, 45 miles, from Tarpon Springs to our north, all the way down to downtown St. Petersburg in the south. This trail used to be an old railroad line, but it's since been transformed into this beautiful shaded route for cyclists, runners, dog walkers, and even just casual strollers. And it connects directly to some of the best spots in the entire county. So let's say you're living in Dunedin, you can pop on the trail, grab a coffee downtown, bike to the marina, or ride south towards Clearwater Beach. Or in Seminole, the trail runs right past the post office. It connects you to Tyrone Square Mall and several parks. You can also be in downtown St. Pete, where the southern end of the trail is just steps away from breweries, galleries, and the waterfront. The trail passes through 7 cities and countless neighborhoods here in Pinellas County. You'll find trailheads with free parking, water fountains, shaded benches, and even local art like the iconic mural tunnels near Largo and Clearwater. It's not just a recreational path, it's a real part of local life here in the city and in the county. And here's the cool part, it's still growing. Future extensions are connecting to beach access points and the Duke Energy Trail, which eventually is gonna loop the entire county. So whether you're commuting without a car, training for your next race, or just exploring with your dog, the Pinellas Trail is absolutely an incredible asset that makes this area stand out. Number 2, you can visit a new beach every weekend for a year and still miss a few. And sure, everybody's heard of Clearwater Beach, but what if I told you that Pinellas County has over 35 public beaches and coastal access points, and that so many of them fly totally under the radar? Well, that's definitely the case. If you went to a different beach every weekend, it would take you almost a full year to see them all. And trust me, you would absolutely want to make sure you see every single one that we have available here. One of the things that surprises newcomers, I think the most, is really how different each stretch of sand feels. Some are like these perfect, pristine, crystal clear water, white sand beaches, great for families, calm waters, really nice facilities. And others are more quiet, natural, and feel like your own private slice of old Florida. Some of the top local favorites I would share with you are Fort DeSoto Park, which is consistently voted one of the best beaches in the US, with a lot of options for kayaking, a dog beach for your furry friends, and a really nice fishing pier. There's also Indian Rocks Beach, which has a chill local vibe, not a lot of high rises. It's really great for shelling if that's the kind of thing that appeals to you. There's also Sunset Beach at Treasure Island, which has these beautiful, colorful cottages, laid back crowd, and it's perfect for evening walks for those of you who enjoy watching the sunset. There's also Sand Key Park, which is just south of Clearwater, which is also very peaceful and uncrowded. There's Paso Grill, which is known for its historic charm, its gorgeous art shops, and a lot of dolphin sightings. There's also Honeymoon Island and Caldesi Island, which is accessible by bridge or ferry, and it is a nature lover's dream. It's one of my personal favorites, absolutely, in this area. And if you're relocating from a place where the beach is just a once-in-a-while destination, you gotta, I guess, change that mindset, because here it becomes part of your lifestyle. Most residents, in fact, I'd say almost all residents, live within 20 to 30 minutes of multiple beaches, each one having its own personality. And here's the local tip. While tourists are packing Clearwater and Madeira Beach during peak season, locals are gonna head to spots like Reddington Shores, Tiki Gardens Access, or Shell Key Preserve by kayak. So whether you're into sunset paddleboarding, family picnics, fishing from a pier, or finding the quietest corner to read a book, Pinellas County has a beach specifically for that. And the best part is that most are easily accessible, some are pet friendly, and they're all part of what makes living here feel like a year-round vacation. Number 3 is we have a real-life art village in Gulfport here. So picture this, there's pastel painted cottages, there's live music on the sidewalk, there's hand-blown glass in a local gallery, and there's neighbors all waving to you from their front porches. Well, that's what it's like when you walk into Gulfport's art village. It's a vibrant, walkable waterfront district where art isn't just admired, it's lived. It's hard to really express how serious they take the art here, but you gotta just trust me, this is the artsy spot in our area. Gulfport is just 10 minutes southwest of downtown St. Pete, but it feels like a whole different world. The Art Village, which is located along Beach Boulevard South, is the heart of this community, and trust me, it's not a tourist trap. This is where locals live, create, and sell their work just steps from home. You'll find everything from pottery studios and indie bookstores to one-of-a-kind boutiques and open-air galleries. And every first Friday and third Saturday of the month, the whole place transforms into a full-on art walk with street performers, pop-up artists, food trucks, and live music under a gorgeous starry night sky. It's absolutely wonderful to attend. And for the times where you're not soaking in the art, you can catch a brunch at Stella's, a poetry reading at the Hickman Theater, or a waterfront view from O'Maddy's with a cold drink in your hand. And what really makes the Art Village special is that this isn't just for visitors, it is a real neighborhood. Artists really live in these historic bungalows with their studios in the back. Residents really walk to the farmers market on Tuesdays. It's a creative, inclusive, and full of color area, literally and figuratively. If you're someone who loves walkable streets, eclectic shops, and just being surrounded by creativity, Gulfport isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to live. And yes, of course, we can help you find a home there. Just reach out to us at any of our information below, and my team and I would be happy to assist you. Number 4 is that Pinellas County is the most densely populated county in Florida, but you would never know it just by being here. It might surprise you, but Pinellas County is actually the most densely populated county in the entire state of Florida, with over 970,000 people packed into just 280 square miles of land. That's more people per square mile than Miami-Dade or Orange County. But here's the thing, when you're actually living here, you don't feel crammed in. And when people ask why, I really think it's because the area is designed so smartly. Every town and city in Pinellas County makes space for what really matters to that specific city, whether it's walkability, green space, or just community gathering spots. Take downtown St. Pete, for example. It's still one of the fastest growing areas in the county, but it still feels livable thanks to wide sidewalks, bike lanes, shaded plazas, and a massive waterfront park system that stretches all the way from Vinoy Park all the way up to Deming's Landing. And if you're moving from a major city like New York, Chicago, or LA, you'll notice something else pretty big here. There is no urban sprawl. Everything is close, and you're never that far from a beach, a park, or a downtown strip full of local businesses. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of people in Pinellas County just because it's such a wonderful place to live, but it doesn't feel packed. So if you're looking for a place that blends urban energy with small town comfort and room to roam, you're gonna feel right at home here. Number 5 is there are over 100 parks and preserves here in Pinellas County. And if you think Florida is all beaches and high rises, you are not entirely correct, especially not in Pinellas County. Here we've got more than 100 parks, preserves, and nature areas, each with its own vibe, and many of them are just minutes from downtown neighborhoods or beach towns. So whether you're into hiking, paddling, bird watching, or just finding a shady spot to walk your dog, there is a green space for that here in Pinellas County, probably right around the corner from you. Take Weeden Island Preserve, for example. It's just 15 minutes from downtown St. Petersburg, but once you're there, you're gliding through mangrove tunnels. It really feels like you're in a different world. There you'll find everything from manatees to mullet to rosacea spoonbills and even the occasional dolphin. I mean, there's a ton of nature out there. And it's not just big preserves, we've got pocket parks and shady playgrounds woven right into neighborhoods. This means that whether you live in the Old Northeast or in Gulfport or in somewhere like Palm Harbor, you've got access to trails, trees, and water without ever needing to go too far. And don't forget, many of these green spaces are connected by that Pinellas Trail we talked about, or offer kayak launches, bike rentals, or different fitness stations. It's all designed to make sure that getting outside and getting active is easy, even in Florida's busiest county. So if you're relocating and wondering if you will have space to unwind here in Pinellas County, the answer is a big yes. With over 100 parks and preserves here, it's easy to trade screen time for sunshine and still be home in time for dinner. Number 6 is you don't have to pay a state income tax here, but definitely you want to keep an eye on insurance. So one of the biggest financial perks of living in Florida is there is no state income tax. And so that's right, whether you're a remote worker, a small business owner, or a retiree on a fixed income, your earnings go a lot further here than in places like New York, California, or Illinois. And that's definitely one of the things that makes Pinellas County especially appealing for people who are remote workers who want a walkable lifestyle, or retirees looking to maximize their nest egg. You combine that tax savings with year-round sunshine, and it's easy to see why so many people are making the move. But here's the part that many newcomers don't think about, and that's home insurance. So Florida's unique weather and coastal location means higher premiums on average, especially for homes that are in flood zones, are older construction, or have much older major systems like their roofs or their ACs. So if you're buying in areas like Shore Acres, Snell Isle, or Island Estates, flood insurance is probably going to be required, and depending on the elevation, that could add hundreds of dollars to your monthly cost. And the same thing could go for some of the charming older homes in areas like Gulfport or the Old Northeast. They may have a lot of character, but some may also need some updates to qualify for lower premiums. And this is where our team really steps in. At Clarke Realty, we help our buyers understand the full cost picture, not just the sticker price on the home, and that means talking about insurance premiums, potential wind mitigation credits, and even pairing you with local pros who can give accurate estimates before you make an offer. So yes, you'll enjoy huge tax savings here in Florida, but just make sure you've got a real estate team who knows how to help you protect your investment and find a home that fits both your lifestyle and your long-term budget, all things considered. Number 7 is the local food scene here is seriously underrated, although it's getting a little bit more credit in local days. And here's something that a lot of people overlook when they think about moving to Florida, and that is that the food scene in Pinellas County is absolutely next level. From international flavors to innovative coastal cuisine, this area has really become a hidden gem for food lovers. So whether you're a complete foodie or just love a good meal out, you're definitely gonna be impressed here in Pinellas County. St. Pete alone has over 500 locally owned restaurants, many of them award-winning and chef-driven. You'll find everything from upscale vegan tasting menus to kind of like hole-in-the-wall taco joints and locally sourced seafood right off the boat here in St. Petersburg. And if you want something more cultural, I would definitely recommend heading to Tarpon Springs, where Greek heritage runs deep and so does the flavor. Some local spotlights to highlight there is definitely Hellas Bakery and Restaurant in Tarpon Springs, which is famous for pastries and family-style dining. There's also Casita Taqueria in St. Pete with fresh street-style tacos that has a cult following here, basically. There's also Good Intentions in St. Pete, which has elevated vegan fare, great for a date night. And of course, Seaworthy on Madeira Beach for some dockside seafood and craft cocktails. And if you're a fan of Vietnamese food, one of my new favorites is La Vie in St. Pete, which has this Vietnamese fusion menu and some pretty killer bubble tea. So definitely something to check out. And definitely don't sleep on the brunch and cafe scene either. St. Pete is packed full with places serving artisan coffee, sourdough everything, and farm to fork options. Definitely check out Black Crow Coffee, Bandit Coffee, or Craft Cafe if you're into that kind of cozy, curated vibe. And if you're me and you like to cook at home, you'll absolutely love the weekly farmers markets, seafood markets, and the international grocery options scattered throughout our entire county here. From the Saturday morning market in downtown St. Petersburg to some of the specialty shops in Clearwater and Seminole, you will absolutely never run out of fresh local ingredients. So whether you're into fine dining, street food, or anything in between, Pinellas County absolutely delivers. The food scene here is diverse, creative, and always evolving. Trust us, your taste buds will thank you if you move to Pinellas County. Number 8 is every town has a personality, and they are very different. One of the most unique things about living in Pinellas County is that every town has its own vibe, and they're all completely different from each other. You're not just picking a house when you move here, you're choosing a lifestyle. So let's start with St. Pete proper. This is the urban heart of Pinellas County, in my opinion. It's walkable, vibrant, and full of life. Think art galleries, rooftop bars, indie bookstores, and Major League Baseball. If you love city energy but still want palm trees and Gulf breezes, this is your spot. If you're craving something a little bit more laid back, maybe you could head to Seminole. It's got that kind of relaxed suburban feel. It's perfect for anyone who wants a quiet home base that's still just minutes from the beach. You'll find some newer homes, wide streets, great parks, and top-rated schools here in Seminole. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more coastal charm with a side of quirky cool, Dunedin is probably where it's at for you. It's kind of a walkable village by the water. It's got a lot of Scottish roots, huge craft beer scene, and some of the most charming streets in Florida. It's also benefiting from, in my opinion, the best part of the Pinellas Trail. And then of course there's Gulfport, which is kind of in a category all its own. It's colorful, eclectic, and a little bohemian. Artists live here, free spirits live here. You'll find vintage shops, beach bars, poetry readings, and people walking their parrots. Actually, that's like a real thing in Gulfport. So whether you're into art and nightlife, or you prefer suburban peace and quiet, or small town charm, or something completely offbeat, there's definitely a Pinellas County town that fits your needs. And when we help clients relocate, that's absolutely our mission, not just to find you a house, but to find a place that feels like home. Number 9 is you can get from a beach to an airport in under 30 minutes. Living in Pinellas County comes with a secret perk. It's surprisingly easy to get around here. Whether you're just heading to the beach, the airport, or just out to dinner, despite being the most densely populated county in Florida, it's not nearly as stressful to navigate as you might expect. So let's talk about airports first. You've got 2 major options nearby when you live in Pinellas County. The first is the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport, which is just 15 to 20 minutes away from almost everywhere in our county. And then you have the Tampa International Airport, or TPA, only about 25 to 35 minutes across the bridge, even from the beaches. And Tampa International Airport is a world-class airport. It's known for its efficient layout and nonstop flights to over 90 cities. The Clearwater Airport is a little bit smaller, more low-key, and mainly serves domestic flights with budget carriers like Allegiant, but locals absolutely love it for the easy parking and the short security lines. And when it comes to getting around by car, here's what you're gonna wanna know. First is Pinellas County has a really efficient grid system when it comes to getting around on the roads, but you'll definitely wanna know when and where traffic builds up, the hot spots, so to speak, during peak rush hour. Be aware of US 19 and the Howard Franklin Bridge, as well as Gulf Boulevard near the beaches on the weekends. But compared to places like Miami or even Tampa, it's absolutely manageable and not nearly as bad as some people might expect. Some tips for you though is to avoid those bridges like Howard Franklin or Gandy between 7 and 9 or 4 to 6. Think peak work hours where people might be commuting to and from Tampa. It just gets a lot more dense and one accident can really set you back there. Also maybe avoid beach roads like Gulf Boulevard that get congested on sunny weekends. You can leave early or leave a little later to avoid the peak of the rush here. And then I-275 is your fastest north-south artery through the county. Definitely take advantage of it as much as possible. Popping on and off of that can often save 5 to 10 minutes on a trip across the county here in Pinellas. So now let's talk about parking. Downtown St. Pete has plenty of garages and metered spots, and many of them are free after 6 p.m. or on Sundays. We have apps like Park Mobile that make it super easy to pay from your phone. And if you're headed to the beach, try to arrive a little bit early, especially on weekends, to make parking a little bit easier. Popular spots like Clearwater or Madeira can fill up fast, so it's just something to plan ahead for. Number 10 is that locals are obsessed with sunsets, and you absolutely will be too if you live here. If you've never been here before, you might not believe this, but in Pinellas County, sunsets are basically sacred. People literally stop what they're doing just to watch the sky change here. And it doesn't matter how many times you've seen it, watching the sun melt into the Gulf never gets old. Locals gather on the sand, at rooftop bars, or on the pier, even at public parks like Maximo or Vinoy, just to catch those final golden minutes. And if you want a front row seat, you should definitely try Pass-a-Grille Beach. It's one of my personal favorites and one of the most iconic spots to watch the show. Or you can catch it from a kayak in Boca Ciega Bay, a rooftop like the Canopy, or right from your backyard if you're lucky enough to face west or can stand in an area that looks west. So some sunset hotspots for you would be Pass-a-Grille Beach, which is quiet, has a locals only feel, and perfect for sunset strolls. There's also Pier 60 in Clearwater, which has a daily festival, performers, and beautiful Gulf views. There's the Don Cesar if you want a luxury sunset cocktail. There's the Canopy in downtown St. Pete for a rooftop fire pit and views over the bay. And of course, there's John Pass Boardwalk, where you can go grab some ice cream and just watch the sky glow. It's really nice. Once you experience your first Pinellas sunset, you'll get it. It's not just a view, it's a ritual, and a reminder to slow down, take a breath, and enjoy where you are. And here, that place happens to be pretty incredible. So whether you're already loving life in Pinellas County or just starting to explore the idea of moving here, one thing's absolutely for sure, this place is full of surprises. And at Clarke Realty, we're all about helping you find the corner of this county that truly feels like home for you. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe for more local insights, and drop your favorite Pinellas hidden gem in the comments below. We're always looking for new spots to check out. And if you're ready to start your home search or just want to chat about neighborhoods, costs, or lifestyle, we're just a call or text away. All of our info is below, and we'd love to be your go-to team for making your move to Pinellas County smooth, exciting, and completely personalized. We'll see you in the next video.